and though Luna has visited all 3 of the CMC at this point, I really hope we eventually get to see another dream sequence episode. They really change up the formula, and each time they do it, they find a new creative spin to put on it. Well, it looks like I got my wish, although I wasn't exactly expecting it to be this soon.
Things may come and things may go. Some go fast and some go slow. Few things last, that's all I know. But friendship carries on the ages. Oh, carries on.
Hola everybody, and welcome to our review of Do Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep. This was a really great episode, and as soon as it started, Cobalt was shaking. He was that excited. He was literally quivering in his boots. Or socks. Whatever.
One of the things I like about Dream episodes is that literally anything can happen. The writers aren't bound to the logic of the world they've created. They can show us anything they want, up to and including Nightmare Moon.
This episode had such a great kickoff, and I really do enjoy Dream episodes as well. They definitely have a lot of fun making these things.
The main 6 managed to bring Luna back to her old self, but Luna's more worried about the fact that this wisp of blue smoke is escaping the room.
The fun cannot be doubled, or generally there at all!
Each of the main 6 had a horrible nightmare the past night and barely got any sleep. All of their dreams involved a blue smoke monster. Well, except for Spike.
Huh. I wonder why I didn't have that nightmare. I slept great!
Also, Spike is awesome in this episode.
After Twilight sends a letter to Luna explaining the dream, she bursts in a second later, shouting,
Which of you saw the creature of blue smoke in your nightmare?
"We've got, like, instant text messaging, man! They've got the iPhones all up in Ponyville. Super high-tech, bruh."
In your dreams. Wait, what's that behind you?
What now? Oh my! Ah!
Okay, I think we lost it.
Hopefully.
So where were we? Oh, right. The blue smoke creature is called a tantibus, and it acts like a parasite, invading dreams and turning them into nightmares. Since Luna dreamt about the main 6 last night, it infected them too. Say, wait a minute. An enemy that invades the mind, is visible in dreams, and seeks to cause trouble? Where have I heard this before?
Do you dare? Of course he had to bring up the flying demon Dorito. Thank you so much. BTW, Tale of Two Stands.
The main 6 agree to all sleep in the same place, while Princess Luna tries to hunt down the tantibus as it invades their dreams.
The way she does this is so cool. It's my second favorite animation in this episode. Luna, with her horn, sends out small lines of white light to connect to the main 6's heads. She uses this to detect where the tantibus is. First, it's in Rarity's mind, who's dreaming about dress fishes.
The tantibus goes through each of the main 6's dreams, turning random objects into monsters. Some of the highlights include...
In Pinkie Pie's dream, every time she hops, she changes in place. In one of her hops, she ends up in the bakery with tons of cake surrounding her. When her eyes widen here, it looks like there should be the sound of a conspiracy theme in the background.
Applejack's dream is a really clever reference to bats, with an extra special cameo from the apple that would have won first prize. But the best dream by far has to be the one that comes right after this one, Rainbow Dash's dream.
In Cobalt and I's favorite dream, Rainbow Dash is fighting the Chrysalis minions. Luna thought this was a nightmare, but apparently it was a good dream.
This is my favorite drink.
Luna is realizing how hardcore Rainbow Dash is. Then, as soon as Rainbow Dash says that this is a good dream, the tantibus turns it into an amazingly hilarious nightmare.
We are such happy flowers. We will now sing for hours.
I hate to break it to you, Rainbow Dash, but if you're terrified of cute things, you're in the wrong show.
Bam! Cobalt up in here hitting you with the cold facts.
All of the main 6 wake up, and the tantibus is still at large. I wonder where it went. Ah! Luna warns the group that the tantibus wants to become powerful enough to infect the waking world. And, as if that wasn't bad enough, Pinkie Pie just dreamt about the entire town of Ponyville, so now the tantibus knows who everyone is.
Pinkie, how do you dream of the best things but have the worst outcomes? How do you multitask like that? Like, what even?
The group decides that if the Tantibus can affect the whole town, the best thing to do is cast the shared dream spell on all of the citizens of Ponyville and have them all defeat the Tantibus together.
Luna manages to make this connected dream, but has to ask the main six and later Ponyville to stop the Tantibus for her, because it takes all of her energy just to keep this whole huge dream together. There's a large involved battle with monsters, and the ponies using dreams to become anything. It's really cool.
There are so many clever visual references in this scene that we don't have time to go into all of them, but we can give a few of our favorites.
Cobalt and I both liked the Lyra and Bonbon cat dog thing. I enjoyed the walking lamppost, and finally, we both enjoyed Flutterbat, the library, and Princess Big Mac.
And then fans everywhere spiraled into outrage, maddened that a character would sprout wings all of a sudden and ascend to a new plane of existence. Internet groups everywhere vowed that they would find a way to put an end to Big Mac's wings and restore balance to the show. The backlash was wide, and no one could avoid the controversy. But after much blood was spilt and many battles were had, the fandom ultimately came to the final conclusion that this is just a dream and doesn't matter to anyone anywhere.
You know what that sound is? That sound right there? That's the sound of the fandom quietly burning in the distance.
Actually, I can kind of smell the fandom burning too. Wait a minute. I smell smoke! Did something catch on fire or something? Oh!
No! Bad, Tantibus. Bad!
Now we get into the moral of the episode.
Here, Luna comes clean, saying that she created the Tantibus to punish herself for what she did as Nightmare Moon. She says that she's no different than what she was then, and that she hasn't learned her lesson. The ponies convince her that she's different than what she was then, destroying the Tantibus as she forgives herself. Moral of the story, don't feel bad for stuff because it's not your fault, apparently.
It's funny, looking back at the show, we haven't really seen Princess Luna feeling guilty all that much, outside of the pilot and Luna Eclipsed. But yet, when it got brought up for the first time here, it already felt like something I'd seen 100 times. And actually, when you think about it, the way this episode portrays it is almost ludicrous. It's been more than a year since Luna was turned back to her old self, and yet she's still so uncertain about herself that she's willing to knowingly conjure up a dangerous parasitic creature just to prevent herself from doing it again. It's actually pretty disturbing when you think about it, although quite frankly, Luna's guilty shtick is so uninteresting to me that I pretty much just tune it out whenever I watch the episode.
This episode has some really great animation effects, and I love how they're spacing up the story. They don't usually do these things, and when they do, it's really amazing to watch. I would give this episode a 4.6. Anyway, here's Cobalt.
This was just a really fun episode. Each of the dream sequences were creative, and they all had a unique twist put to them. The episode really took advantage of what dream sequences can do, and showed off some really clever and sometimes really funny scenarios. I especially liked how, near the end of the episode, the group used the dream to their advantage, doing all sorts of crazy things that they couldn't do in the real world. We tried to keep this video as focused as possible, but there are so many different things we could have pointed out, because the episode just went all out with doing as many different creative things as possible. But I'm also going to warn you that if you don't like Princess Luna's guilty over Nightmare Moon shtick, you probably aren't going to be a huge fan of this episode. But if you like that side of her, or are indifferent towards it like me, it probably won't bother you as much. I give this a 4.1 out of 5.
Thank you for watching the review, and we will see you in the next video. Adios!
Don't go in there, you'll become one. Freaky creatures, monster party. Eyes of yellow, scales and feathers, tails and tethers. Turn the lights off, bend the nightmare, you control it. Artful dodger, easy does it.
Well, that was fun. When's the next episode coming out? Oh, it's on hiatus?
Come on, man! We already usually have Gravity Falls and Steven Universe on hiatus. We do not need ponies to join their little bandwagon.
Oh, but don't worry. I'm sure there will be plenty of other things to talk about with those two shows.